Question for you guys. What if you find out your wife or your husband had an affair and it was on social media and the whole world to see this and to hear this, and you were the last person to know? What would you do in that situation? Well, according to social media and news outlets and media, there is a CEO, Andy Bryon and Kristin Cabot, apparently had an affair, and it was all broadcast on Coldplay's concert in Boston, and we are going to dive in and get right into it. And I have to say, this is the most craziest thing I ever seen in my life, you guys. So welcome back to that set. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is just crazy that what I stumbled upon, just big, I would say scandal, but just big crazy scandal on social media that this man, which I'm going to show you, Andy Bryon, and this woman, Kristin Cabot, and Andy Bryon. He's a chief executive officer. He works in a company of Astronomer. Hopefully, I'm saying it correctly. He's the CEO, and Kristin Cabot. She's the chief people officer. Basically, she controls the HR. And apparently, they were caught on a Jumbotron in a Coldplay concert in Boston, and having an affair. Basically, they were having an affair. They went a concert together, and they were caught red-handed on that big screen, holding each other and everything. And I'm just shocked. And the funny thing is, both of them are married to two different people. And what's shocking as well, they both work together. Awkward. And CEO meetings and stuff like that. So awkward and so unprofessional. And what planet would you do that to your own wife, to your own husband? What would you do in that situation? That's just crazy. That is so embarrassing to the wife, to the husband, to the family, to the friends, that your significant other is at a concert with another woman. I couldn't even imagine what Brian told his wife. Oh, honey, I'm going to be working late in the office, and the wife too. Kristin too. Babe, I'm going to be working late in the office, blah, blah, blah. There's so much we had to do and stuff like that. And sure enough, they both were lying. They went to a concert together. Okay? Together. It's just disgusting. And it's just not right. I can't even imagine what both parties are feeling. They're feeling betrayed. They're feeling like, how can they do this to me? On top of that, you guys, it's on social media. It's all over on social media page. It's on TikTok. It's on Instagram. It's even capturing in the news. Okay? People are talking about it. And I just can't imagine what the wife is going through, Brian's wife and Kristin's husband. It's just embarrassing, and it's just an ultimate betrayal. What will you do in that situation? What will you do? For me, I would divorce that ass. I would divorce that man and take everything he got, make sure he paid child support, and that's it. Because it's just an ultimate betrayal. He lied to her for how long? I don't know. I don't know how long the affair has started. But according to reports, Kristin, she only been working there for 9 months. 9 months, okay? So maybe some, when you work together with people, some feelings, catch on or whatever. But my thing is, you both are married, okay? Unless you separated or you're going through a divorce or something, but still legally, you're still married. And I just feel like, people take marriage, they don't take marriage seriously. They don't take it face value. You went down the aisle or however you got married, and you took an oath. You know what I mean? Excuse me. You took a vow, for better, for worse, for sickness and health, until death do us part. Those vows are sacred. They have meaning to it. And for him and her, the both of them stepped out of their marriage, went to a concert, lied to their significant other. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And this is probably a good thing that they both got caught. It's probably a good thing that both the other parties are aware of this. Maybe they never knew that their significant others were stepping out on them throughout this whole marriage. And now the truth is out. Cat got out the bag. now the truth is out, and I feel horrible for them. Not these two cheaters, because they're cheaters, and you know what? Good for them for getting caught. And to each his own. You can't, not to each his own, but you can't do that. You know what I mean? I take marriage very seriously. You know what I mean? And for some people who can just mock marriage and then just feel like, oh, I'm just not happy with my marriage, so I'm just going to step out and cheat. Now, I'm not saying every marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect. There's always going to be some ups and downs and challenges and stuff like that, but that's the whole point of marriage. You stick through it. Now, if you went to counseling and you work on each other and work on your marriage and you did everything that you can to save your marriage, even though there was trouble in paradise, and I don't know the status of their situation, why both parties stepped out of their marriage and cheat on their significant other. But my thing is, if you feel unhappy in your marriage and you feel like there's no spark and there's nothing there, communicate with your husband or wife. Let them know, listen, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling you anymore, whatever. There's no spark in our marriage. Our marriage is dead, blah, blah, blah. I feel empty, whatever the case might be in the marriage. You talk to your partner. You let your partner know. You seek counseling. You go see a pastor or whoever. You work it out. You work the marriage out. And if you try every resources, everything that you got, and it's still no results and there's no change, then you figure out the next option. Now, I know some people who are Catholic, they don't believe in divorce. They believe, staying in a marriage and union. And I'm not telling anyone to get a divorce, but for me, if this was me and I was going through a sticky road in my marriage and I tried every resource, I tried everything, and still no change and there's nothing, then I would take the next chapter to lead to divorce. But I will never, ever cheat on my husband. I will never do that because God is watching, and I don't want, first of all, God to be disappointed at me. Second of all, I don't want to feel the wrath of the Lord, okay? Because once you cheat, things come out. The truth come out. Just like those two couples, it came out. Because they were cheating, they were stepping out of their marriage, and it did something that they was not supposed to do. My whole point is communication is the key. You have to communicate and let your partners know that you're feeling a certain type of way. The marriage is not there. The spark is not there. Something. And if you tried every resources, everything, and it's still no change, one party is not willing to bend or change, and the other party's not doing anything, then you figure out your next option, okay? For me, I can't stand cheaters, okay? This is an ultimate betrayal. Now, everyone is different. If that was me and I found out my husband cheated on me and I had to find out, I'm the last person to find out and the whole world found out and is on social media, I'd be livid. I'd be betrayed, I would be hurt and devastated and embarrassed on top of that. You know what I mean? How do I explain this to my children that my husband went on a Coldplay concert in Boston and just with another woman? Not me, but with another woman. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you have to forgive because the Lord says you have to forgive one another and not hold that anger and that bitterness. That's fine. I will obviously eventually forgive my husband. However, for me, I'm just saying just me, I don't think I will stay in a marriage because for me, once that trust is broken, it's hard to get it back. It is. It's hard to get it back. And I'm always going to wonder, where is he? How come he's not picking up his phone? How come he's not home at a certain time? All this will go through my head. And I don't want to feel or live like that. You know what I mean? I want to have absolutely trust and transparency with my partner and not worry or why he's not picking up the phone, going through his phone, looking at his text, why he's not coming home. And I said, no, for me, I can't deal with that. Once the trust is broken, it's hard to get it back. And I know a lot of people say, well, Cheryl, what if he did it once and then never again? I don't know. To me, I don't know. For me, it would be done. I don't think I would look at my husband the same. I will forgive him because I don't want that hatred heart in me. But I don't think I would look at him the same. I don't think the love would be there because once that trust is broken for me, it's hard to get it back. And I've been cheated on. I've been cheated on many exes in my past relationship, and I was the one to walk away because I didn't want to be one of those women that, let me see your phone. Where are you? Blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for that. I'm too grown for that, to check up on you to see what you're doing. You know what I mean? You're the man. You're supposed to not do things that you're not supposed to do, okay? You're supposed to honor your wife, respect your wife, be loyal to your wife, not cheat on your wife. And this man, Brian, he did the complete opposite. He's a real scumbag, in my opinion, a real scumbag. Now I want to show you a footage, the Coldplay concert. And to me, he's just despicable, both of them, despicable and disgusting. And also I'm going to read to you a statement that the CEO made, said regarding this. I guess he's trying to do damage control, but someone's going to get fired here. Someone's going to get fired or let go because it's just really inappropriate. Like, what do you say to your employees? You know what I mean? What do you say? Oh, by the way, I had sex with one of my coworkers, which is the HR department. So weird. Like, she should be let go. He should be, well, it's his company. I don't know. I don't even know these people from the hole on the wall, but I just saw this and I'm like, well, I have to talk about it because I can't stand cheaters. I despise cheaters because it just infuriates me when people do that. You know what I mean? Like, have enough balls, enough guts that if you're not happy with your marriage or relationship, step up and say something. Why do it behind the person's back? Because it's going to make you feel better and make the person not less feel better. Either way, someone's going to get hurt because the truth always come out. It doesn't matter how many times you hide it or try to be deceitful or try to be sneaky. The truth always wins. You can keep things in the dark, but God is going to bring it to the light. And sure enough, you brought this to the light in public, okay? Let alone in a concert, okay, that the whole world is going to see. And on top of that is on social media. Again, embarrassing. Like, they both should be ashamed of themselves because they embarrass their family. They embarrass their co-workers. It's just absolutely disgusting. No transparency. They're not even honest to one another and say, listen, things are not working in our marriage. But no, they both were married on top of that. Married. Utterly disgusting. But anyway, let me stop ramping, okay, and show you the footage of the two getting caught. Take a listen. You don't want that.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
This is Andy Byron, CEO of the tech startup Astronomer, who has now been launched into a viral feeding frenzy over an alleged affair. And this is Astronomer's chief people officer, Kristin Cabot, not Byron's wife. These two were caught in a romantic embrace on the Jumbotron at a Coldplay concert in Boston this week, and they quickly tried to hide it.
Scumbags.
Which, of course, just made it worse.
Made it worse.
Having an affair, well, it's very shocking. Turns out Coldplay frontman Chris Martin's words may have been spot on. Their surprised reaction to being projected onto the big screen in front of tens of thousands of cheering fans at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, has led this video to go viral across social media. It's gotten at least 40 million views on TikTok alone. Now, Byron's wife, Megan, has now dropped her last name from her Facebook page before deactivating that profile altogether. Astronomer, if you're wondering, is a New York-based private data infrastructure company that was most recently valued at around $1.3 billion, making it just the latest in a number of digital startup unicorns. Byron's been the CEO there since July of 2023, while Cabot's been the company's chief people officer for at least the last 9 months. Now, Byron has not publicly commented on any of this yet, although Astronomer has had to quickly shut down a fake statement attributed to the CEO.
Now, I don't believe that's a fake statement. I believe he probably did post this, and whether if it's fake or not, he should do a public statement. You know what I mean? Because this is embarrassing. For his wife Megan, but she took her last name down and she put her maiden name. Good for her. I hope they didn't sign a prenup, because if they didn't sign a prenup, she's getting half of everything, and rightfully so. Because if you're going to step out on your marriage and do this and embarrass your family like that, she should get half of everything. Okay, half of everything. It's disgusting. But anyway, let me read to you the statement. They say it's fake, but I doubt it. It's fake. So this is a statement from from CEO Andy Bryon. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake, played out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and my team at Astronomer. That's where he works. You deserve better from me as a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be or how I want to represent the company that I helped build. I'm taking the time to reflect, to take accountability, and to figure out the next steps, personally and professionally. I ask for privacy as I navigate that process. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been private moment became public without my consent. Pause. What is he talking about? He said, I will also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been private. Boy, bye. You went to a concert live and you said it should be private. Listen, okay? If you're going to cheat, go to a hotel. That's private. Go somewhere that no one won't see you in public. You put yourself out there, and now you're trying to take shift. First you said in the paragraph you're going to take accountability, and now you're trying to gaslight Coldplay like is their fault? That's not their fault. That's your fault, buddy. You're the one that stepped out on your wife. You're the one that cheated. You're the one that went out there in a public scene. Not Coldplay. How the hell Coldplay is going to know? He just made an educated guess. Whether you were shy or you having an affair. Boom. An affair. So don't do that. Don't gaslight, okay? Take accountability what you said in that statement. Boy, bye. He's crazy. Crazy. Let me continue on. What I was saying, private moment because of a public without my consent. I respect the artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. Boy, is he crazy? Like, is he out of his mind? Spectacle? He's the one who put himself there. He's the one who put that situation. Him and his girlfriend, the one that he's having an affair with. A spectacle? You did that, not Coldplay. He just pointed it out that you both were shy or you had an affair, and you made yourself guilty. You ducked down like a coward. She covered her face like she did something wrong because she knew it was on a Jumbotron that it was going to be in public. You know, it's going to be on social media. So obviously, if you have nothing to hide and if you're not guilty, why cover your face? Why duck down if you did nothing wrong? So apparently you both were guilty. And now you're trying to point the fingers at the entertainers like it was their fault? Boy, bye. Please. Whether this is fake or real, listen, take accountability. You cheated on your wife. You lied to your wife. Both of you need to take accountability and apologize to both of your partners, okay? Now, I don't know if Megan's going to take Andy back. I don't know if the husband's going to take him back, but I just want to give you a piece of advice. If they've been doing this, and I don't know how long, because you've been working there for 9 months, behind your back and you was not aware, leave. Now, I will leave, okay? Megan, take his money, okay? Take him to court, get a lawyer, and just split everything half, okay? He's not worth it. For him to do that, disrespect you, disrespect your marriage, your family, it is utterly wrong and disrespectful. And then he's saying this bullshit statement. It's just ridiculous. Take accountability. You got caught ran-handedly, okay? You cheated. Now, if you wanted to be private, then, like I said, you should have went to a hotel. You should have went somewhere that no one wouldn't see you so you wouldn't be exposed. And now that you were exposed to the whole world, and everyone is finding out, even especially your staff members and your company and stuff like that. Oh well, hopefully you will learn your lesson not to cheat, okay? And I'm talking to everyone out there. Do not cheat on your wife or your husband. Talk to them. Communicate with them. Let them know what's going on so they are aware. Cheating is not the answer, okay? It may be feeling good at the moment or exciting, but you know what? At the end of the day, someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get devastated. Someone is going to feel betrayal. It's just not a good look. It's not a good feeling either to be cheated on to someone that you love, care about, and respect, and someone's doing this behind your back. It's just not right. It's not cool. Be honest. And it just really boggles my mind that people can't do that. But the easiest way to step out of your marriage is to cheat behind their back. Why? Why do that? It's like, people try to kill their spouse for life insurance. Why? That makes no sense to me. I can never understand that. You know what I mean? When they're going to get caught in the first place and go to jail. Is that worth it? Same thing with cheating. Is it worth it? Was it worth it? No, because at the end of the day, you broke your family. You tore your family apart because you just wanted a piece of ass from someone else. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But let me know what you think. What would you do in this situation? Honestly, what would you do if you found out your husband or your wife cheated and it was on social media. What would you do in that situation? I already told you what I would have done. I would have divorced him and took half of everything. And that's it. I would forgive him, especially if there's no prenup. I would take half of everything because, without trust, there's no point of a marriage. There's not. Because let's say if you decide to stay, you're just going to have that anger, that animosity, that bitterness. And for what? Why? Why? And then you're going to make him suffer. You're going to be miserable unless you go to counseling and really, really do the work and work on it. And then once you do the work and you absolutely forgive your husband or your wife, that you letting it go and you're moving on, then you have to let it go. You cannot hold it against him or her. You can't. Once you say you forgive that person and you honestly mean it too when you're in counseling and you tell the therapist that obviously you have to do the work because it's going to take time to regain that trust and regain that relationship again if you decide to stay. But then once you decide to stay and then you work on your marriage and then you do the work, and then when you say that I forgive you and I'm willing to let go and then renew your vows or whatever and start fresh, then that you can't bring it back. You can't bring the cheating because once you let it go, you're moving forward. If you're capable of doing that, great, wonderful, awesome. But if you can't and you know that you're going to keep bringing that up to your husband or your wife every single time when you have a disagreement or whatever, then the marriage is never going to work. You're constantly going to argue. Constantly going to resent one another, and it's just not good for you. It's not good for the children. It's not good for your mental health or anything like that. So the question is, can you forgive and move on and stay in the marriage? Me, I can forgive, but I can't stay in the marriage. Once the trust is broken for me, it would be a hard thing for me to stay. I'm just being honest. It'd be a hard thing for me to stay. For me, I just have to walk out of the marriage once I feel betrayed and my husband cheated on me behind my back. I don't know, for months or years and whatever. I don't know. I feel like I would never look at him the same. I would definitely forgive him. It would take time, especially if you have children. Obviously, we have to be the peacemaker and coexist because children are involved. But I don't think I would look at him the same at all. I definitely would forgive him. It would take time, but I don't think I would stay in the marriage. But everyone is different. Some people will give the other person a second chance, and some people will walk away and divorce. But I don't know what Megan's going to do. I don't know Kristen's husband. I don't even know these people from the hole on the wall. I just saw it on social media. I'm like, oh my God, is this really true? And sure enough, it was on the news. So if it's on the news, then that's really true. What an idiot. They're both idiots. Both stupid. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know how long they were having this affair. I have no clue. But, they both were idiots. I'm glad they got caught. I'm glad that the other parties are seeing the light. And sure enough, it's not looking well for the both of them. It's not. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you think about this whole craziness, about these two. Absolutely nuts. But again, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. That's it, you guys. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.